the funky beat. Sun is shining, Rachel brings the heat. Wake up CEO, we're on repeat. Chicago, Sun Up City on the go. Rachel L. Gary on the radio. Tune in quick, hear the power flow. Wake up CEO, it's your daily show. Wake up, start the day with CEO. Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill. From the Windy City, bringing major vibes. Rachel on the mic, keeping lives revived. Radio Chicago, where dreams arise. Wake up CEO to the skies. No more snooze button, no more delay. Rachel's voice making waves today. Feel the energy Chicago way. Wake up CEO, rise and sway. Wake up, start the day with CEO. Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill. Wake up, start the day with CEO. Hey, Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill.
This is Dr. Carolyn Stevens, the CEO of the BHC Media Group. And when you are looking for a strategy for self-leadership, get aligned with Wake Up CEO with host Rachel L. Gary every Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m.
You know what time it is? Every Wednesday, 3 to 5, my Radio Chicago, Rachel L. Gary in the building. Wake up, CEO, let's go! Wake up, go some set that tone. Wake up, every step you take, you claim that throne. Wake up, no more doubt, no time to stall. Wake up, boss up now, go get it on. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up, I ain't waiting, now I go and take it. Built this from the ground, no way they break it. Consistency, my secret, watch me make it. Got that boss talk, now I ain't faking no. Lost, set the goal, now I'm grabbing the goal. And put in the work, now I'm taking control. The vision so clear, yeah, I already know. Every step I take, I'm ready to blow. Wake up, set that tone. Every step you take, you claim that throne. No more doubt, no time to stall. You boss up now, go get it all. Let's go, stay locked in, make it happen. Make it happen. Let's go, stay locked in, make it happen. Make it happen. No handouts, yeah, I made my way. Built my brand, now I paid my lane. I turn my losses into lessons. Now my grind got no recession. Yeah, they talk about chance, but I make my own. Yeah, I ain't waiting for fate, got a future to own. Yeah, every setback, just part of the game, game. But now I'm up and they know my name. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up. Success so sexy, put the work in flexi. Late nights, no rest, but now my vision's hefty. They doubted, they laughed, now they watch from the back. Cause I turned every dream into bricks that stack. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, go get it all. Every Wednesday, 3 to 5, my Radio Chicago. Rachel L. Gary taking you to the top.
Hey there, CEOs. Welcome to Wake Up CEO. I am your host, Rachel L. Gary. And you know, this is your power-packed wake-up call to step into your full potential. Y'all know my mission is simple. Speaking candid truth to empower your inner CEO. That one that is clear in your actions, empowered by your choices, and owning your direction, and ready to be the full CEO of your life. Woo, today's show is getting ready to be fire. As always, it's not out of the norm, but today we're going to have us a special co-host. I just want y'all to get locked in. First, today is about how to create a CEO morning routine. That last past Wednesday. Guys, I didn't drop that in there, but I want to make sure you guys get locked into it. We're going to start talking about a morning routine that doesn't just fall apart by Wednesday. Y'all know that means we got to lock in. So stay locked in to the power statement of the day that is brought to you by Say I'm Possible Academy. Then we have the special co-host. Guys, this segment is going to be fire. We're talking about Insurance Uncensored. Today we're going to be breaking the myths about insurance. So get locked in, get ready for Ebony Hines to come grace us with her presence every first Wednesday. She's going to be dropping those insurance gems. So get ready to get your life right. So y'all know what we do on Wake Up CEO. We don't just talk about it. We be about it. We're not about deciding that today we might get started. We gonna get started tomorrow when things get better. Today's the day we're gonna start. And we're gonna do what? Dive right in. The power statement of the day. My morning is my foundation. And I'm gonna protect it like a CEO. Let's go, CEOs. You know what we do. We get clear. Thank you guys for checking in with me over here on TikTok. I appreciate you guys for locking in. Everybody who's out there on Facebook, LinkedIn, as well as YouTube. Thank you guys for checking in with me today. I guarantee you, this is going to be a show that is not only going to be beneficial to your morning routine, it's also going to be beneficial to the myths that you've been hearing about insurance. Man, Ebony is going to come in here and drop mad information. I want y'all to get y'all pen and pens ready. Get ready to already call your moms, call your pops, call your friends and be like, hey, we've been lied to. Because she gonna dispel those myths that you've been hearing and give you real knowledge that's going to allow you to find real success and find real information about what insurance is and what it ain't. Y'all know what we talk about. So we are talking about, first, creating that morning routine that sticks. And why your morning routine keeps collapsing. Because, first, if we're not clear with why things are happening, then we can't fix them. So first, we got to say, all right, what's the thing that I got to know? What is the thing that I've been doing that doesn't align with having a CEO morning? That's what we're talking about. How to create a CEO morning. So your life doesn't fall apart because you didn't try hard enough. It falls apart because it wasn't built for a real life. We are saying that we want to make a change, but we want to make dramatic changes on day one. It's like when we say we're going on, we're going to start working out. Everyone's going to work out January 1st. The gym memberships go up. The gyms make more money in January. And by end of January, half of those new enrollees have dropped out of the program. Come on, CEOs, I want y'all to check in with me. Why do we fall out of the program? We fall out of the program because we don't set ourselves up for success in the beginning. We don't build a plan for the life, real life, not a fictitious life, real life. What does real life look like for you? So this is the reason why it breaks by Wednesday. And why Wednesday? Because that's the middle of the week, CEOs. Monday, we are enthusiastic. We're like, okay, I'm going to do this. This week is the week. I am going to set my morning routines that are going to allow me to be positive for the rest of the day. Tuesday, okay, man, I didn't get enough sleep Monday night. I need to rest. I need to sleep in a little bit. By Wednesday, it's like, man, Monday and Tuesday kick my butt. I don't have time by Wednesday to do a morning routine. Then Thursday, that morning routine no longer exists. CEOs, it's okay. You're not the only one. It's happened to us all. But let's talk about how to make that different. Because we're going to get clear. So your morning routine is too long and it's unrealistic. So you build a fantasy schedule. You said, okay, I'm going to get up. I'm going to brush my teeth, wash my face. I'm going to do 20 push-ups. Then I'm going to read a book. Then I'm going to do an affirmation. Then I'm going to journal. Then I'm going to meditate. Do you see how many things that is that you're saying you're going to do? So a morning routine, when you first start, it can't be a fantasy. And a fantasy isn't saying that you guys don't want to do it. But when you give yourself a whole lot on a little bitty plate, because in the beginning, you haven't stretched that muscle. So in the beginning, you gotta take it easy. Relax, release. Now, I'm a person who all the things I told you guys just now, I do those currently. It took me 3 years to be able to get there because I'm a person who believes in you set yourself up for success. The only way to move forward successfully is to, boom, take small steps. And your routine has no boundaries. CEOs, you know what I speak candid on Wake Up CEO. Your routine is if you feel like. When I get up, not that I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock and start my routine. Whenever I get up today, I'm going to start. That means there's no boundaries. There's no clarity. There's no clarity when I do. Clarity is I am going to win. Do you see? That's the verbiage is different. What you're saying to yourself is different. Thank you, Cherie, for jumping in. Thank you, Ricky, for jumping in. Thank you, Shayla, for joining me. Jenny, Diva, thank you guys for watching. But at the end of the day, if everything can access you at any time, if anything can stop you, if anybody can call you, if sleep is holding you in the bed, you have not set clear boundaries. The clear boundaries are not with some far off person, with some far off fantasy place. The boundaries are with you. So CEOs, first, the boundary has to be clear with you. And your routine isn't connected to a meaning. Why are you starting the morning routine? Are you starting the morning routine because you want peace in your life? Are you starting the morning routine because you are looking for a strategy in your business? Are you starting a morning routine because you legitimately want to be a healthier person, not that you want to lose weight? These are fantasy CEOs. Being a healthier person has nothing to do with weight. There's some skinny people that are very unhealthy. People's metabolism burn fat differently. And people's metabolism hold calories differently. So just because someone is thin does not mean that they're healthy. Take that in, CEOs. Take that in. So if one of your goals, the reason why you're going to get up early in the morning and put in a routine is that you want to be healthier. That means that your lens that you're thinking through is health, not weight. That means you're looking at the back of bottles, the back at what you intake. You're researching those chemicals that go into our foods. You're understanding why processed food is good and bad for you. You can do all that when you're clear on why you're doing it. Because I'll use myself for instance, guys. You know, I only can talk about one person I know. I know this person so in-depthly. Hey, that's me. I know me. When it goes this way, for me, I am clear that for me to be healthier, I don't eat fried food. For me to be healthier, I don't intake a lot of sugar. For me to be healthier, I don't eat processed foods. For me to be healthier, I eat more certain types of fruits. Because what I realized is that food chart that we've all seen in doctor's offices, that we've all seen in school, was inaccurate. I'm not here to say why. I don't want us to go down that rabbit hole, but I guarantee you one of the mythbusters is going to be that Ebony's going to be dropping on you guys about things of insurance. That's going to be in there. Because a lot of times we've been told something that is stuck in our heads, and that keeps us from getting clear. So when you're specific about why you are doing a routine and you're tying that routine to a purpose higher than your excuses. Ooh, I know that hurt. I'm sorry, but not sorry. If you can give yourself an excuse, then you are going to break the routine. So we're talking about no excuses. We're talking about stepping forward clearly. And this is the moment of insight for you. If it requires perfect conditions, it will collapse under pressure. If it requires that you actually are up at 6 a.m., that your car is warmed up outside, that the person who brings your food is actually at the door at the specific time they're supposed to be. If it requires that someone else is doing something at the specific moment, if it requires perfection, it will collapse. Because perfection is not reality. I want y'all to take that in, CEOs. If your morning routine isn't scheduled, it's not a standard. So to have a morning routine, it has to be a scheduled morning routine. People don't like structure. I know. We're fighting the system. I know. But if you're fighting the system and you're fighting the structure within yourself, one more time, CEOs, if you're fighting the standard and you're fighting the structure within you, but you're still doing all the other stuff that the government tells you to do, then I don't know what we fighting structure about. Because the standard should be yours. The structure should be self-imposed. If you want to break free of something, you break free of someone else controlling you and your time. You break free of someone else telling you when you can do, how you can do. This is not saying buck the system, but I want to make sure that we stay consistent in the system of growth within us. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Francisco, Michael, Maria, Val, Penny. I appreciate all you guys joining. Tigger, Monica, Laverne. Guys, I appreciate you guys for jumping in, because right now we're talking about the CEO morning routine, how to create a CEO morning routine. The first thing we talked about is getting clear. We are clear now. Why your routine keeps collapsing? It collapses because you're not putting together a structured plan. Buck the system of life if you want, but you can't buck the system of you. You want to be in cohesion with you. You want to set yourself up for success. The only way you can do those things is saying yes to you in a productive way. Creating a morning routine is just as simple. I want y'all to tell the truth. What usually breaks your morning? People, phone, or procrastination? Drop that down for me. What is something that usually breaks your morning routine? People, your phone, or just because you say I'm doing it, but you don't? In the beginning, for me, it was my phone. The first thing I did when I got up in the morning was I picked up my phone and I would check my emails. Usually there was some kind of catastrophe, that would happen within the company, or there was a customer that required my urgent assistance. So my day always started out very chaotic because the first thing I did was picked up my phone and went to my emails. Guys, for 10 years, that took place. Every morning, it's part of my routine. My pattern was I picked up my phone, I looked at my emails as I walked to the bathroom. Then after that, I would answer the emails of important, send emails to my teams. This will all be before 6 o'clock in the morning. My team not even at work. So I was so busy allowing the phone to distract from a routine that would bring me peace. Because I was looking for peace. And I was wondering why I wasn't getting peace. Because I hadn't set up a boundary and a schedule of my time. How many of you guys are out there asking yourself the same question? How do I get to peace? We all want peace. I want y'all to have peace. I mean, peace is imperative. Peace is a part of prosperity. You can't have prosperity without peace. I know that sounds contradictory, but it's true. As time collects you guys will be with me. So we're going to take a moment and jump into one of our commercials. Remember, this is My Radio Chicago, Support District Radio. And already know what? It is more than radio. Get locked in. We are all looking to get to the cash. So I have the perfect book series for you by award-winning author Rachel L. Gary. Volume 1, Forged in Fire, Readers Rose from Life's Ashes. In Volume 2, #Poverty Six Figures, They Broke Those Mental Chains. Now comes Volume 3, Freedom Has GPS, reminding you that you are born to soar and build a legacy. Pre-orders are open for 50% off. Get the tools for the bag at www.sayiampossible.com.
Yeah.
Saying possible.
Freedom has GPS.
Freedom has GPS.
Rachel L. Gary. Rachel L. Gary.
We've been riding in circles, same stress, same scene, trying to find peace while we're chasing a dream. Then Rachel L. Gary put the map in our hands. Now it's clarity on the dash. We got plans on plans. Boundaries on lock, no details for the doubt. If it don't match the mission, we routing it out. Purpose in the pedal, we don't wait on the sign. CEO of our life, watch the whole thing align. We set the destination. We move with intention. No more drifting. We chose the vision.
We chose the vision. We made rapper ad-lib. Freedom has GPS, so we set it and we go. Tell Rachel L. Gary in the map, yeah, she rocking a roll.
Let's go.
Love, time, peace, and family, yeah, that's the goal. CEO of our life, now we taking control. No more stuck, no more someday. We got something to prove. Freedom has GPS, now I spell whole movement mode. We be up, out and moving. Yes, up, out and moving. To the greatness that lies in woo.
You
done changed the game.
Guys, man, if you guys didn't already know, that is the featured song for Freedom Has GPS. That is the third volume of my Epic Collection, which is my book series. So the Epic Collection is about elevating potential to ignite change. And Freedom Has GPS is just about that. It's about changing the thought process of living in financial despair to growth of a business, a brand, a person to build and generate a legacy. Guys, y'all get locked in to Freedom Has GPS. Set your destination to success. I'm going to drop that link in the chat for you guys real quick. Go ahead and get a pre-order. The book comes out Juneteenth. And let me just break this down. Right now, we are moving with intention for Freedom Has GPS. We just left Racine, Wisconsin yesterday. I had the pleasure to ride with two people from my team. It was an experience. I met some amazing people along the way. And for me, whenever I meet some amazing people, that is always when I am extremely excited. I get extremely excited when I'm talking to individuals who are legitimately looking for success and who legitimately just want to have a conversation that reminds them of who they are. I'm never telling anybody what to do. It's not even a thing for me. I don't tell anybody what to do. I believe we all grown ups and we all have a sense of what to do. I just remind them on how to actually get there. And I feel very privileged when I work with individuals and I see their businesses flourish. And a lot of times when they say that, hey, you are the reason why this worked. And for me, I always see them being open to the possibilities is why it worked. Because things don't work because you meet someone. They work because you're ready to be someone. There's a difference in that, CEOs. When you're ready to be someone, you're able to step into the greatness that lies in what? That song say? When the greatness that lies in you. Because that's what it's about at the end of the day. The greatest lying in you. And we right now we're talking about getting to the greatness of this morning routine. And then, guys, man, y'all better get ready because then Ebony Hines going to come into the building and drop that information on Insurance Uncensored. Man, we're going to be busting myths of insurance today. I want y'all to get locked in. Get locked in, get locked in. So we were talking about how to build a morning routine that lasts past Wednesday. So we already got clear. We're clear on what we're going to do. If you guys missed a segment on clarity, watch it back. Watch it back. In the next hour and a half, you can watch that segment back. But to be empowered, this is where we build a CEO routine that sticks. Empowerment is building a routine that works when you don't feel like it. Not a motivational routine, a repeatable routine. We're not just going to be motivated on Monday because that's what Monday is, motivational Mondays. Y'all see it on your Facebook. You see it on your Instagram. You see it on your TikTok. You see it everywhere. Motivational Mondays. Then we hear Terrific Tuesdays. Hump Day Wednesdays. And by the time we get to that hump day on Wednesday, we've already abolished whatever that motivational Monday was. So today we're talking about the steps that we could take to get back clear with that. We got Mrs. Gary chiming in. She says, hello, CEOs. Thank you, Mrs. Gary, for joining us today. I appreciate you so much. Love you. But at the end of the day, CEOs, you have to set a routine that sticks. I'm going to give you a very simple framework. Simple framework. Wake, your win is 5 minutes. Breathe it, set it up, declare it. I lead myself first. This is early morning routines. I'm going to give you a quick framework. Simple, you wake. Mindset minutes, 10 minutes. You read, you pray, you affirm, or you journal. You pick one. We're not picking each of these. We're picking one out of each category. Your body check. You stretch, you walk, you drink water. Signals your nervous system that you're in control. Then you do a CEO move, 15 to 30 minutes. That's one thing that moves your life. Create, plan, outreach, write, study, build, whatever. Guys, I just said what we're talking about. We're talking about something that's less than 1 hour in your day. There's 24 hours in your day. I guarantee if you pay yourself this 1 hour, this routine is simple, guys. If you pay yourself this 1 hour a day consistently, the trajectory of your thoughts for the day will change. 1 hour a day. Let's rewind that back. 5 minutes. When you wake up, Celebrate a win. You breathe, you sit up, and you said, I lead myself first. This is before you pick up a phone, before you do anything. As you walk into the bathroom, I lead myself first. Your mindset minutes. This is what you can do this. Guys, I want y'all to hear this. You can do this in the bathroom. You can read, pray, affirm, or journal. Leave your journal in the restroom. And then when you wake up, there it is. This is a morning routine. Your body check. Once you get off the toilet, guys, we gonna be 100 with each other here. We use the bathroom in the morning. Our bodies have been asleep all day. We get up in the morning and we gotta go. 2 of these tasks you can do and you ain't even gotta get off the toilet. The third thing is stretch, walk, and get some water. It signals to you that you control you. You get off the toilet. Lean a little bit on the sinks as you wash your hands. I hope you're washing your hands, CEOs. But let's get into it. So as you're washing your hands, then from there, brush your teeth, wash your face, whatever you do next. Then CEO move here. One thing that moves your life forward. It create a plan, outreach, write, study, build. 1 hour a day. This is before you give the world the other 23. When you sleep, you're giving yourself you're rejuvenating you. I'm going to add this little tidbit, CEOs. At night before you go to sleep, give yourself something in your life to solve. Before you go to sleep, ask yourself a question. What's $1 million idea? I'm just giving you a question. It can be any question. I'm just saying it. What's $1 million idea? Do that right after you kiss your spouse, right after you had your last phone call, when you hang up your phone, when you cut the nightlight off, you ask yourself, what's the $1 million idea? And just drift off to sleep. You're telling your brain what to work on while you're resting. Because your brain is working anyway. Dreams are nothing but the reactions of your brain. I guarantee I want my brain talking to me about how to make that meal. Who out there looking to make that meal? I want to make, because that's what we should be talking about out there. How we want to make that meal. How we want to get that money our way. Because if we not talking about that, then we gonna be in the same place when we wake up the next day. I'm not saying you're gonna be a millionaire the next day, but I want y'all to know this: a millionaire resides within your thoughts. That's what a millionaire is. This is why it's important that your morning routine is solid. So if you're somebody who works nights and your afternoon is your morning, same sentiment. It doesn't matter what that routine time is. It should be the first thing you do before you let the world take on your life. So my question to you CEOs, I'm going to drop that question down there real quick. The question I'm going to drop down there is, what do you protect? What is it that you protect? I had to drop that down there for you CEOs. I want to make sure we with it. We here together. What's that one thing that you protect? Because if you're going to start protecting, got to start with protecting you, your mind, your thoughts, your environment. That's how we get our morning routine to stick past Wednesday. And just keep it in mind, the goal is never perfection. The goal is never to be perfect. The goal is always to be better than you were yesterday. That's the goal. Perfection doesn't exist. If you win that first hour, you stop begging the rest of the day. Woo! Mic drop, mic drop, mic drop, mic drop. If you are winning that first hour, you win the rest of the day. You were born to win. When you woke up in the morning, you were resurrected to win again. You came from your slumber to own the day. And not own the world, own your day. That's your world. The world between our ears and our eyes is our world CEOs. So I want you guys to stay locked in. So we went over the two things that we needed to start getting our morning routine together. Now we about to bring in some information, some Insurance Uncensored with my co-host, Ebony Hines. We're going to be talking about the myths behind insurance. I want y'all to stay locked in right here on My Radio Chicago, Support District Radio, where we already know it is more than radio.
And those patterns filled with lack. Be careful with your mental and the choices on your path. Keep raising your vibration, use intention when you act, and release your inner critic in the freedom you can bask. I'm free to be myself, would it be nobody else? Impeccable with words because I know that words are spells. I'm in another realm, I'm focused on my health. Embracing authenticity has brought me so much wealth. I'm free to be myself, would it be nobody else? Impeccable with words because I know that words.
Questions were exact and to the point of what I needed, but immediately I was able to apply some extra income come immediately this past week.
Charging $100. Company is your ticket to action. They're ready to roll, offering apparel print, logos, business cards, and more. Get off your procrastination game and get active. Call 708-223-4167 or go to your computer, click archiveduke.com or hit them up 9920 West Roosevelt Road, Westchester, Illinois 60154. It's time to make that call and make your future happen. archiveduke.com. It's easy.
All right. And welcome back to Wake Up CEO. I'm your host, Rachel L. Gary. And what did I tell y'all? I told y'all I was going to go find somebody that was about to break it down for you. Not just somebody, not just anybody, the body who has information about insurance, and she is coming to you guys uncensored, unfiltered, about to drop y'all information on the myths, busting the myths about insurance. Without further ado, I bring my week one co-host, Ebony Hines.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here today with my impressive, inspiring friend, Rachel, for our very first segment. We're going to be talking about the integrity of insurance. So I'm just very excited to be here, guys.
Guys, I will tell you, me and Ebony have had some amazing conversations. This is not her first time on air. I just want y'all to hear this out for the record. She might be a little rusty, but she about getting ready to drop it on you guys. So just give them a little information about Ebony.
Oh, of course. Well, again, I'm Ebony. I'm from right here in Chicago. I am a licensed life insurance agent. I service the state of Illinois, Indiana, and Maryland. I prioritize protecting families. To be honest with you, I have been in life insurance specifically for almost 10 years now. Prior to getting into life insurance, I was in media and advertising here in radio here in Chicago with the Chablis and many other people around that everybody probably is familiar with. You know, some pretty famous names here. So I kind of transitioned into something more solid, more meaningful to me, and servicing life insurance and helping families protect each other. And over the last 7 years, I can say that I've delivered over 24 checks for over $250,000 a piece. And
hold on. We giving money away. Hold on. We got to listen. Hold on. We're going to pause. We got to clap that up. I want to make sure y'all CEOs understand about what she's about to talk about.
Yes.
That's money. All right, go ahead. Please continue.
Absolutely. I mean, I've delivered checks of all sizes, but I recently kind of went through my books and I realized I've delivered over 25 checks for over $250,000, $250,000 or better, meaning that on the day that someone found out the worst news of their life, they lost someone very special to them, maybe a provider. I was also to provide them some comfort and some incredible news on that day. That was pretty awful. So today I want to make sure I get everybody informed. If you have any questions for me about life insurance, we're gonna tackle a ton of subjects that I run into along my career of discussing life insurance coverage with different families. So I'm excited.
I'm extremely excited about this subject, guys, because we have heard so many things about life insurance. I remember that when we'll talk about maybe 70, 80, 90 years ago, that they were selling policies out there for $2,500 policies that were supposed to help families that were never intended for that purpose. They were just robbing our now elderly. They were in their they were in their prime at that time, and everybody was just trying to get on the bandwagon to make sure they had something for their families. Absolutely. But if you could speak a little bit to those are the reasons why a lot of people are scared.
Absolutely.
Go ahead. Speak to that.
You're absolutely right. I mean, let's be honest. People of color, predominantly Black people like that look like us, we have been scammed and duped and disenfranchised in so many arenas of this country in particular. We're not even going to talk about worldwide. We're going to keep it here in America. And whether it's the medical field, insurance, financing, banking, we have run into so many hiccups and cons and things. And oftentimes it's because we just don't know what we don't know. A lot of people don't know that the creation of life insurance came about because slave owners needed some form of insurance to cover their slaves. We we were technically human beings, but we were not a home. So there was not a certain type of insurance already available. So because they needed some form of insurance in case a slave died, someone who was providing them lots of manpower, they needed some form of compensation for that. That is how the creation of life insurance came about. Once we, of course, got free, we moved up north. We started doing our own thing. As we do, we started thriving. We wanted to learn about life insurance. We wanted to learn about how to cover our families. And like you said, there were people who would come and take advantage of the Black people that were learning and trying to build as they rotated up north. And yeah, they were being sold policies that were not policies at all. They were actually just being scammed. Their money were just being taken, you know, and which is where down the line it became federally regulated. So now the insurance industry is completely controlled by the federal government. I know a lot of people think that life insurance is a scam. Technically, it is not. We'll get into that. But insurance itself is not a scam. It is regulated by the federal government. There are numbers and outlets for you to contact if you ever are scammed in insurance, because they do not play about insurance scams. I will say that we take oaths as life insurance agents, to be honest. So we're going to get into what constitutes a scam. But insurance itself, no, not a scam.
Man, I'm going to tell you, I believed the scam myself, guys. I gotta tell you, my grandmother had a policy that we found out upon her death that wasn't really a policy at all.
Man.
However, we got all the money back.
Amen.
My family don't play about understanding laws. Yeah, y'all best believe we understand laws. My aunt got every dime that she ever put into that policy back.
And see, and that's the thing. We need to know more. And so you have a family who, at the time of purchasing that policy, they may not have known what they didn't know. But
you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. But that lineage, those greats and those grands, you guys came along learning more knowledge, gaining more insight, and you guys knew what to do to kind of go back and correct that so that you could at the very least collect the funds that had been paid into the policy. So there you go. That knowing better is always important.
Exactly. And to me, that's why Ebony is here. She's here to explain and break down those myths. So we're going to take one myth at a time.
Absolutely.
One myth at a time. Insurance being a scam.
Yes.
Now, we did talk about there was a time. Guys, it can be a time if you want to allow a time. But Ebony's going to give information that helps you understand how not to get scammed.
Exactly.
So we're going to start with the scam.
The scam, exactly. Life insurance itself is in no way a scam. If you die, the policy pays. Now, one way that oftentimes people are scammed in the insurance industry, there are tons of agents who sell term life insurance, which has a time limit. So that might be a policy that lasts for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You have a ton of agents who are not explaining that information to people, and they're selling these 10-year policies to people. They believe they have $1 million in coverage for $20 a month, and they don't understand that this is not for the rest of your life. This is not like, oh, okay, great, lock, stock, and barrel, I'm good until I die. If I die at 95, no, you've got coverage for the next 10 years. If you die in that 10 years, great, that policy will pay out. If you don't, congratulations, you've outlived your policy, you made your payments every month. Now you have no insurance coverage. That's where it can be determined to be a scam, because you were not given all of the information. So you ran into a bad agent, but the insurance itself was never a scam.
Okay. So I want to just break that down a little bit. So I want to break down the difference between term and whole life. And guys, I got to say that I am a licensed agent. One more time, I am not a practicing licensed agent. I'm one of these people who likes to learn, likes to understand, and have a clear understanding about anything I put my money in. I'm also a licensed real estate agent, because my money is in real estate. One more time, not a practicing real estate agent. I took the classes, so I had an understanding about information.
Mm-hmm. If Rachel doesn't do anything else, she's collecting information. And that's what I love about
That's
Rachel.
so true.
That's what I love about Rachel. You can talk to Rachel about anything, and she has at least a spoonful of knowledge on that topic. She's done some research, and it's fact-based knowledge. Please know that. So, yes.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, first off, I got to be as honest as possible. If I don't know, if someone tells me a fact that I don't know, and it's something that I deem that is necessary for me to know, I'm going to go research that fact.
That's right.
I also, I got to say this, when it's shenanigans, I bypass all that. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. So when someone told me about, well, you can get this universal life, because that's what started me on the journey of listening. So I don't want to confuse you guys. We're going to first break down the term and the whole life policies. So you have a clear understanding of what you're buying and what questions to ask your agent. Because I want to be honest, guys, people take classes, but maybe didn't have a great teacher. And they might not have all the information. And you might be today getting that one piece of information that helps another person find success in their lives as insurance agencies. Because I'm not going to say every insurance agency was trying to scam.
Right.
Because a lot of those people thought they were giving people policies that really were going to help.
Absolutely.
Now we're going to get information today so you know what to ask that insurance agent so you can make sure your family is protected successfully. This is about protection of success. Protecting and building a legacy because it can be done through insurance. So we're going to break down life, whole life, term, and then we're going to dive into some deeper how you'll get that money and get that money out your policy. Talk about
There you go. There you go. All right, so now we're gonna talk about some terms, some differences.
Yeah, there's a term and whole life. So because that's very, very important when
Absolutely.
you get a policy.
Because like you mentioned, the universal and all of those types of things, we can get into that at a later date because that is a bit more of an advanced level of life insurance. So you have to know the basics of your insurance availability and options before you get into those. So the first particular type of insurance that's usually offered to people is term life insurance. That is exactly as it sounds. It's set for a particular term of time. So that may terminate after, again, as I mentioned earlier, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 35 years. Now, people really are attracted to term life insurance because you get a lot of coverage for a very small price. You'll see a lot of ads for $1 million in coverage, $500,000 in coverage, and it's usually advertised for much less than even $50 a month. Always question that. If your goal with your life insurance is to make sure that your family is paid no matter when you die to cover your final expense, then term life is not your focus. Term life is important, but it's not good for every circumstance. For example, if you just bought a house and you have a 35-year mortgage, a term life policy for about 35 to 40 years is absolutely a good idea if you want to make sure that home stays in your family. Just in case, God forbid, you pass away in the midst of that home being paid off, there's still a mortgage. You want a policy to pay out to someone that can immediately go ahead and pay that mortgage off so that that is not a stress to your loved ones who are left behind. You know, we see so many people lose their home because the breadwinner passed away. They couldn't make those mortgage payments. This wasn't something they planned for. A term life insurance policy specific for the coverage of that mortgage, which we call mortgage protection, would be intentionally just for that purpose. At that 35-year mark, once your home is paid off, God forbid you haven't done other things and possibly, you know, determined when that mortgage being paid off much later, that policy will die off. You can actually get what we call decreasing term policy. So as your mortgage decreases in value each year, as you're making payments, that term life policy decreases in value as well, and it decreases in price. So by the time you hit that 35-year mark, you outlived the policy. You're still alive. The home has been paid off. So now
we celebrating being alive. Hold on.
Absolutely.
We celebrating being alive. I don't want you guys to take this conversation for the gravity of life or death.
No.
This is life to life.
Absolutely.
Now, why did I say I go up with it? Because it's your life, your kid's life, your grandkids' life, your great-grandkids' life. That's a legacy.
That's right.
I want you guys to clearly understand what we're talking about. We're not talking about death. We're talking about life.
That's right.
That's why the word is life insurance, because it's to live past your life. It allows your family to have a better life. It allows them to have a debt-free life. So I want to make sure you guys don't get the gravity of the death, get the gravity of the life insurance, legacy, generational, wealth building. That's what we're talking about with insurance, guys. We're not talking about death. We're talking about having and celebrating a life.
Absolutely.
Sorry,
No, you're absolutely right. And I mean, I know so many people do get caught up on the heaviness of death. And it's really nice. It's about protection. It's about security. It's about the unknown. It's simply about, as you just said, legacy. making sure that your family is fine, whether you're here or not, you know? So yes, that is ultimately the goal of term life insurance. It has a termination date when it should end once it's done. Now, moving on to actual legacy building, as Rachel just mentioned, whole life insurance is once we start getting into that legacy talk. A whole life policy from the day that you purchase it will remain with you as long as you make those payments for the rest of your life, whether you live another 5 days, another 5 years, or another 50 years. Whatever day you purchase that policy, you have that policy for the rest of your life. It does not have an expiration date like a term policy, and the price stays the same unless you decide to increase that coverage. Your price never increases at any point. And I want people to understand, I get so many people who are like, well, with whole life, like you said, I'm going to pay it for the rest of my life. I'm going to end up paying way more than what it's worth. That is nearly impossible. And oftentimes I'll break down the math for people and they're always impressed. Whether if, you know, for example, if you're spending $100 a month on a policy.
We gonna toss this up here somewhere, guys. We gonna break it down calculator wise.
Calculate it.
I'm gonna do it on my phone. So let's say pulling out the phone, guys.
There we go.
I can't add, but we want to make sure we talking dollars and cents, so you understand.
That's right.
So, what is a typical whole life policy? Now, I want to make sure that we do talk about this portion of it. It depends on what age you are at the time you get the policy, with how much money you're going to pay. The older you are when you get the policy, the more that policy is going to be. Because what insurance companies are seeing in their mind is that you're closer to, I hate to say the word death, but death is life. Yep. Life is death. To the end of your life. So the closer you are to the end of your life, that means that policy is going to pay out to them a lot sooner. Yep. If you're in your 20s, your 30s, they feel like, oh, you got time. You're going to pay enough into this policy that they're going to be done what they want to do with that money by that time. Yep. However, we're just going to go with we're going to go 35 year. Oh, if someone's starting at 35 years, what is a typical cost of a policy whole life?
Perfect question. I prepared for this one. 35 years old. And
hey, I want y'all to know we did not talk before the show about this stuff.
We did not, but I know my age personally. So, and I know the average people, you know, possibly listening. So I wanted to go with the median age. I don't want to go too old, too young, but that ultimately is exactly where I wanted to start. 35 years old. Let's see, we do $100,000 policy and you're going to spend about $100 a month. So that's $100,000 whole life, $100 a month. You're 35 and healthy. And I'm so glad you touched on the price because we're going to talk about that. That's one of the next myths I want to address. Young people saying, I don't need it yet. We'll get there. Yeah. But 35, we're going to say you got.
So we talking about $1,200?
Yep.
A year.
$1,200 a year.
All right, we were dropping it down there, so we getting these numbers together. Exactly. $1,200 a year.
$1,200 a year. You're 35 years old. Let's be honest. The average American lives until they're about 75 years old. So what is that? About 40 years or so.
So times 40 years.
Times 40 years. Go ahead, Rachel. Let them know how much they're going to pay into that policy.
So we're going to put some dollar signs in front of it. I don't want y'all thinking I'm messing with y'all. So we talking about $48,000 you paid into the policy.
Yep.
If you paid for 40 years.
If you pay for a full 40 years, that's hoping that you live at least, at minimum, 40 years after being 35.
Hey, I want to be older. So
exactly.
I want to be in my hundreds. Okay. So we're going to go, I want to be 100 years old at 35. So we're going to still go with 35 as your starting age. So we're saying 65 years. We're going to go 65 years.
Okay, we'll go 65
I want every bit of my time.
Now, what's funny is we'll hit that cap too. We'll hit that point because as you said,
at 99, it changes.
It doesn't just change. With the company I'm with, in most companies, if you live to the age of 99, your insurance company is just going to send you a check in your name for the
value of your policy.
For the full
Come
value,
on.
For the full, here you go. You made it to 100 years old. Here is your check, 100,000 or 150,000, however much that you've purchased into your whole life policy. You do whatever you want to do at 100 years old. And the logic behind that is also it's unlikely that you'll spend all of that money. There will be money left for once you do pass away for your family to take care of your final expenses.
So guys, if you at 35, well, I want y'all to hear me. Mm-hmm. If at 35 you live to be $75.
Yeah.
You only spent $48,000.
$48,000. Your family will get $100,000 check.
They still get $100,000. So they still won. They won 52 grand.
There you go.
I'm just want 52 grand. And
Yeah. You ultimately bought them $100,000 check for the price of $48,000.
so hold on. I'm not even gonna use a calculator. That's like 55%.
Absolutely.
So we hear all about the stock market. We hear all about these things.
Yes.
But I want y'all to this is what we busting the myths here.
Yes.
We not just having a conversation, we busting myths.
Yes.
So if you live to be 75, if you get your policy at 35,
Yep.
48 grand is what you spent. Your family, your legacy got 52 grand. And I'm gonna give you a strategy what you do with that 52
Plus
grand.
the money you paid into it. So yeah.
But let me give y'all a strategy. Remember, I'm the leadership coach. She's talking about insurance. I'm gonna tell you how you make that money work for your people.
That's why we love
You
Rachel.
put this money into a trust.
Mm-hmm.
You don't give the check to them. The money upon your passing goes into a trust. They're given a portion of the money to be able to take care of our final expenses and still be able to live a comfortable life. The rest of that money gets converted into going into a stock. Well, I'll just use a stock. It could be into a REIT. A REIT is a real estate instrument that you can use to, it's like a stock on property. And it's called a REIT. We'll talk about that at a later date. But this point is you put that money in a trust. That money is making money.
Yes.
And paying them every year on your birthday. That's what I have mine set up as.
Oh,
on
nice.
my birthday, every year, 3 family members get a check. My wife gets a check, my youngest gets a check, and my middle son gets a check.
Love that.
Now, my wife gets a check to disperse to all the other family members because, sorry, love y'all, but y'all got to once y'all get super responsible, I'm on y'all. With y'all. With y'all. My youngest gets a check because my youngest is very responsible. My middle son gets a check because he's going to make sure that the grandkids get stuff. Guys, you got to get locked in. There are people in your family who are going to do the right thing.
That's right.
So they all 3 get a check every year for my birthday. The rest of that money is making money.
Yep. All year round.
All year round. So they never got the 100 grand. I'm going to tell you what normally happens with these kind of policies. If you guys want to follow this gentleman named Mario Reed, Esquire. He has a legacy meeting every year in the south suburbs where he gives great tips on this. Even though Mario and I have met a couple of times, he did a podcast with me years ago. The gentleman has legitimate information that helps us build wealth. He right now is Bruce Wayne rich.
Wow.
And he is still legitimately helping people today.
Bless.
He has a law practice. So look him up. Matter of fact, I'm going to tag him in this post. I'm going to tag him in the post. And the reason why I'm going to tag him is not because he asked me to, because we on Wake Up CEO are waking up the CEO in you. One more time. We waking up the CEO that already resides in you.
I love that.
That's what I'm not talking to people. I talk to clear, empowered, and owning people. That's y'all. Okay. So I want to make sure that you understand what we just discussed. Yes. We discussed that even if you live to be 100, if you live to be 100, you got $100,000 check. And that $78,000 is all you put into it.
That's right.
You just came up 32 grand.
That's right.
So no matter you win no matter what. So that's myth number 1. Because we didn't blow up.
Oh, yes.
Myth number 1, that insurance policies are not worth it. We just dispelled that myth.
There you go.
Guys,
They're absolutely worth it.
Didn't I tell y'all that she was going to be on it for y'all?
They are not a scam. You just got to know, as Rachel already prepped you guys, you got to know which questions to ask your agent and know what's being set up, because it's not a scam. You might sit with a scammer, but insurance itself is not a scam. So no, we're going to bust that myth. Term insurance has a purpose. Whole life insurance has a purpose. And then, of course, we have accidental coverage, which is extremely inexpensive, and it pays out very large amounts, and it pays out in the in the incident that you die in an accident. So I always encourage people to have some accidental insurance. You can usually get that through your credit union, through your bank, through your job. I can even offer all of Rachel's listeners today a free $2,500 accidental policy that will cost you absolutely nothing. My company and myself will pay your family $2,500 if, God forbid, you die in a car accident, a train accident, a plane accident, a shooting. And we all know that there are so many accidents. That's oftentimes how we lose people unexpectedly. So yes, life insurance does pay. You just got to know exactly what type of insurance you're getting.
So we busted myth one about it's not worth it.
Yes.
Now, what questions, we just gonna talk about term and whole life. What questions should they ask an agent so they can be versed on, so y'all can be prepared? We're here preparing you guys. So when that insurance agent comes with you, well, this is the policy, y'all can have this and this. What questions should they be asking in the very beginning as once you hear the presentation about the policy?
Now, if an agent does a presentation properly, you shouldn't have many, if any, questions at all. That should be red flag number one. If you have a ton of questions after their presentation, then they missed the mark somewhere. So
sorry, guys. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
So what should that agent go over?
That agent should absolutely make clear before even getting started talking about your money, your coverage, your desires. They should make sure that you know the difference between whole life and term life. And they have to make clear that they offer whole life and term life insurance. You get a lot of agents who talk very, very fast. Again, they'll talk to you about large payouts for very small premiums, and they don't use the words term or whole life because they're oftentimes selling term insurance, and they want to just get that policy out to you without actually breaking down what type of coverage you have at that time. So they should be making clear the difference between whole life and term life. They should absolutely be making clear with you what your goals are. Everybody has a different purpose with their life insurance. Some people just want to make sure they're not a burden. I just want to make sure I'm covering my funeral and those final expenses for my family. So that agent should not be discussing $100,000 or $500,000 with you. That agent should be focused on discussing the estimated time of your life and what approximately it'll cost to bury you. They should be talking more reasonable numbers with you. They shouldn't be pushing large 6-7 figure policies on you. Another thing, you want to make sure that your agent is making clear that you have multiple options. You want to make sure they're not trying to force you to take a number that they have in mind. All right, well, I think you do good with $300,000 policy. No, they should be showing you at least 3 to 5 different options based on your budget, specifically catering to you. Their presentation should cater to you, your family, your goals, and what your intentions are for this check for your family.
All right. Okay. I'm dropping that information in the chat for you guys. Clear details, whole life, term life, clear terms. What is your goal? Right now, I'm getting the multiple options down there because it is important for you guys to really, these are questions because I want to say it, see, like this, CEOs, sometimes we don't, but by us not knowing what we need to know.
That's right.
A person to give you a presentation, give you the razzle dazzle. This is how we get tricked. Right. Y'all remember that 3-car money? Ooh, 3 cars on the table. You like, okay, I know where that red car was. You watch it. The red car ain't never been on the table. I want y'all to know that in the beginning.
Got me every time.
The red car ain't never was on the table. The red car was always up the sleeve, in the pocket somewhere. You always had black cars. The red car didn't show back up today. This is why magicians go to magician school. But the whole point is that you can't be scammed if you have information and you come to the room informed.
That's right.
And right now we're giving you that uncensored insurance information so you can be informed on what you need to know and what your agent needs to make sure that you're getting.
Absolutely.
Get to that. Get to them.
Absolutely.
Man, I'm telling you, she dropping so many gems. I'm just dropping these gems in here for y'all.
For sure. The next thing that you want to make sure your agent covers is your health and your habits. Again, speaking on people thinking that they're so young and they don't need to worry about life insurance. The price of whole life insurance, well, let me take that back, term and whole life, but predominantly whole life. The price is directly based on your age, your health, and your habits. So the younger you are, the less expensive it is. The more healthy you are, the less expensive it is. So for example, if you have diabetes, we're going to do what we call rate you. So that means they're going to add a premium to your premium. So it's going to cost a little more. Your habits. Do you smoke? It's going to cost you a little bit more. Do you skydive? Do you do extreme sports? That's going to cost you a little bit more. And your agent should absolutely be asking you all of these personal questions to ensure that they're getting you the proper coverage for your lifestyle and for your family to be protected no matter what.
So if I'm going to interject, guys, hey, you know, Cecile can't just sit here and just act like I don't know nothing. That's not a thing. It's not a thing. But I'll say this. Now, the reason why they're asking all these questions, why she busting the myths out, I want y'all to understand the reason. Because if you lie, I want you to hear this. If you lie, they will not pay out the policy.
Absolutely.
The reason for them asking if you smoke, when they ask, because what the insurance company will do is they will ask the hospital for an autopsy.
Yep.
A lot of times we believe that the hospitals just do autopsies just because they don't. Insurance companies ask, because if it comes out that you told them you were perfectly healthy, your doctor co-signed you were healthy, and you had kidney failures, or you had a kidney problem previous to your insurance, your family gets nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
So no matter that you might not even have known you had a kidney problem.
Yep.
So remember, the scam isn't the insurance. The scams come in when you don't prepare. Remember, this is why we are CEOs, because we get clear on Wake Up CEO. We're not on CEO, Wake Up CEO being vague. This is why I'm coming with the cold water on Wake Up CEO. She bringing that cold water on life insurance today. What you must do to help yourself find success is be honest.
That's right.
Be integritous, guys. Tell the insurance agent the truth.
That's right.
If you got high blood pressure, say so. I want y'all to hear this from me. So I have a life insurance policy. I have a $700,000 life insurance policy, and then I have policies on all my buildings upon my death.
Okay.
It's crazy. I found that out when I got into insurance. Now, Ebony will talk about how y'all do that in the later episodes. She going to be here every month. Y'all just get locked in. Every month you're going to get a gym. But y'all got to get locked in. Make sure that you understand. So I have these two type of policies. For myself, I don't smoke. I don't drink. They asked me, so the only thing that cost me more, because I weigh more than what the average American should weigh. I have zero health concerns. Zero. Wow, yeah. I'm just being honest. I'm not bragging. I don't drink, don't smoke. I don't even eat unhealthy. That's the real honest. If I stop eating those cakes, Sharice, don't you say nothing. Don't you even drop nothing in the check. So I eat cookies every day. That's the reason why I still don't drop it in the check. I don't drink pop. Okay. I don't eat a lot of nothing, but I like cookies.
You get a vice. Yeah, you
get First off, I'm living life. I don't give a good goddamn what they say.
I know that's right. You get treats too.
So when they did my health, screening, because they made me do an extra health screening because they thought that my doctor was making up. I don't know. But they did a health screening, found out my blood pressure is even 120/70 always. Nice. I never have any blood pressure problems. Nothing. They gave me the policy. So we were like, okay, so we would talk about the kids. So we saw all the kids need to get covered. So there's certain things were in there that they were like, oh no, they can't be covered. They can't be covered. Weight, habits.
Yes. Oh yes.
It was the habits that got them. I won't say. There it is. Come on, Ree. Love you. Love my friend there. So Ree said she eating cake right now. Thank you, Ree. Thank you.
Enjoy that too.
That's a true friend, y'all. Man, that's a 30+ year friend right there. Because she give me the hardest time. What are you eating? It be early in the morning. What is you eating? I'm eating cake. She's like, early in the morning, every morning. It be early for her. I done been up since 4 o'clock. It's like, we talking at 10 or 11 o'clock. I've been up half the day. But it's just funny. But we were going over those things. My son, okay, if I say age, everybody will know which one it is. So we'll say in the 20s, because I have some kids that are in 20s and some kids that are in their 30s. Okay. So one of them in their 20s cannot be insured. Okay. Hold on. I will tell this health concern here. One of my children has had seizures when they were younger. Got it. They haven't had seizures in 5 years. However, they legally cannot drive because they had seizures and a doctor has not cleared them. Absolutely. The insurance policy would not cover him because he has had epilepsy at some point in time in his life. Yep.
And we will talk about that a later date, being uninsurable. There are a very solid list of things, be it medications you're on or certain illnesses that will deem you uninsurable, and epilepsy is one of those things.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I had to bring it up today, because this goes to being honest.
Yes.
Because they're gonna ask you for the records anyway.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We're going to ask, because as an agent, I want to make sure that you're getting proper coverage, and I want to make sure that there is no reason for my company to not pay out your family when that day comes. So I oftentimes take a list and I keep it myself. I ask for the full list of your medications. I want to know the last time you spoke to your doctor. I want to know your doctor's address and phone number, because sometimes I do my own underwriting before the company underwriting, and I just want to confirm that you've been to the doctor in the last 12 months or so. Depending on your size, the insurance company might decide to contact your doctor and get more updated information, or like you say, ask you to go to the doctor. If they're looking at reasons that say, let's just see where they are at currently health-wise. Like you said.
Yeah, I get a yearly exam. They ask for the medical, and it's funny that my A1C was lower than it was before. I legitimately, guys, in all honesty, I eat the most healthiest foods ever.
That's pretty cool. I try to eat healthy too, but my A1C be up and down. So
it has not. I mean, for me, I'm very conscious about food.
Yeah.
I'm very conscious, like medicine right now. I had a cold for 6 weeks. I want you guys to hear. I had a cold for 6 weeks. And I could have easily just went and got the antibiotics and did it.
Yeah.
So what we did was we got all the natural remedies. And I do mean natural. I don't mean, we added a little bit. No. I mean, we had oregano oil.
Right.
Look into that, y'all. We had golden seal, which is a combination of 7 different herbs that creates, that acts like a antibiotic. So, but you have to take it longer because it doesn't have all of the steroids and everything that medical antibiotics have in it. So, guys, y'all remember a couple weeks ago, I couldn't even drink a bottle of water in here. I had tea in here every day. I couldn't even breathe. I have not had any natural medicine. Any doctor medicine.
Yeah, not
a thing for me.
I mean, it makes a difference, and as long as we're doing it as a lifestyle. You know, you get some people who do it through phases, and I get it. You know, I've gone through my phases in life too, but a healthy lifestyle is so important. You know, like you and I have discussed before, in the last 3 years or so, I've probably lost 45 to 50 pounds just because my doctor told me that I was pre-diabetic, and I had so many relatives who were diabetic, and you know, you almost grow up in a Black family like that's the norm. You know, overweight Black women, we do tend to carry more weight. We eat our fried food, we cook, we bake, that's how we show love. I grew up in a family that was very food oriented. We did Happy Sunday, as we call them. We still do, with big dinners and lots of unhealthy food. And all she had to tell me was pre-diabetic. And I knew I did not want to be medicated for the rest of my life. So I immediately made changes, because once you're on those medications, it's forever.
And it's hard to get off.
It's hard to get off. And those things will affect you for the rest of your life. Getting on a medication, again, getting life insurance, increasing your life insurance if you've already got some, and now you've become diagnosed with something where the premium is through the roof, far more than you would have expected, because between the last purchase of insurance and this newer, older purchase of insurance, your health has declined. Some cases you may not be insurable now, you know.
But they can't take away your policy that you already had.
No, if you've already got coverage in place, you're fine. But you get a lot of people who want to just get their foot in the door. Like, you know what? All right, well, I'll buy 5,000 right now just so I have a little bit. And they put it off and they put it off and they put it off, and they look up and they're like, oh man, I'm 45, 50 years old. For one, it's much more expensive because of their age. They've waited 10, 15 years. But then you mess around and find out that you've been diagnosed with something, and now you can't buy any more insurance. You kind of put it off for too long. You know what I mean? Things change every single year. So we want to keep on top of our health, and we want to make sure that we have the appropriate amount of coverage. But that does lead us into us taking care of ourselves. Like you say, those healthy remedies, those natural remedies, living as long as possible. You know, we want to be here for our kids.
I want to say this, guys. You know how we always crack the joke about living our best life. And this is so funny that we're talking about this right now, because I didn't even think about it till just now. We always say we're going to live our best life. But we really, when we say that, we talk about we're going to turn up. And do that, we really know that's the worst way to live your life.
Right.
It is, CEOs, it is. I mean, we how many times people had hangovers? I've never had a hangover because I don't drink. I just got to be transparent. I have friends who would be like, "Oh my God, I can't see. Don't you put a pen down."
Oh,
I have a friend that makes. She sells these over the counter now.
Mm-hmm.
She has a store that she has a hangover remedy that takes the hangover away immediately. As a natural remedy. It's a store up north. It's like on Sheridan somewhere.
I'm curious about that. Yeah,
she natural remedy. It's like in a shot. It's like a $10 shot.
Oh,
but
nice.
people can go to work the next morning like it ain't nothing. I told her, I said, what the heck? She's like, if there's a market, we can make a way.
I know that's right. You know, because now,
but it's a natural remedies in it though.
And I love that because, again, I'm not the right person to ask about the turn up because I've been an old lady since I was a child. So I literally can count on less than 5 fingers how many times I've had a hangover. I can actually vividly recall each time I had a hangover. And it's so many years ago. The first time I was in high school. But like you say, we live and we learn, you know, and those habits we got to put good habits in place of some of those bad habits. Ain't nothing wrong with turning up, living your life to the fullest. You know, in addition to talking about life insurance, I like to talk to people about building those memories. You know, once we're done and gone, we're done and gone. So you want to make sure that your kids, your grandkids, everybody has more than just memories behind, but you want to leave some great memories with them.
Absolutely.
You know, seriously, I think that living your best life in the best way for you is probably what works best. It don't have to be.
I love that.
Up,
I love that. I love that statement because that all of that flows right into what we're talking about life insurance, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to think that we strayed away from it. No. It's about living your best life, leaving a life for your kids to be able to live their best lives and for your generations to come to have best lives. So we were just talking about the foods we eat. CEOs, I'm about to tell y'all something that this is a myth that we've been told about the food that we eat, all those food we've been eating for all this time. It was the best thing. Our parents it was the worst thing that we've grown up on eating. It's the worst of food to eat.
Yeah.
But it's our comfort food.
It is.
Now we use the word comfort. Remember, uncomfortable is where you want to be, because as you get uncomfortable is when you get to your success.
That's right.
So, like for me, I don't eat sugar. I use honey.
Nice.
Not just honey, organic honey. My wife bought some honey from Walmart, and we was looking. I'm looking at the bottle because it's a difference between organic honey and honey.
Oh, I know.
Because they still make.
That's why I'm laughing.
They got synthetic honey out there, guys.
Yes, I'm a honey snob as well. If you bring me honey in that little teddy bear bottle, child, you can keep that. Okay.
I get organic honey that comes from Greece. Mm-hmm. Someone asked me why Greece. Because the bees in Greece are different than the bees in America.
Now that I did not know.
They are treated differently, and their honey is different.
Interesting.
Guys, I believe me, when I said I was making a lifestyle change, lifestyle change.
That's right.
And I never diet. I've lost 20 pounds in the last 4 months. And I still eat my cake every day. I do everything in moderation.
Yes.
Everything in moderation. Like today I had a salad for lunch. I had red grapes. I had 1 pound of red. Well, no, 1 pound. I had 10 red grapes and I had an orange. And why 10? Because that's the serving size.
There you go.
Not the 20 that they put out there. 10 is the serving size for grapes. Guys, you got to research. But I'm just saying.
For sure.
That's why we're having this conversation about making sure that you have the information to research correctly so you can make correct decisions.
Absolutely.
You can only be clear. We're giving you clarity to empower you to ask the questions when those insurance agents are there, or don't ask the questions. Let them get through their whole presentation and use a personal checklist, which, you know what, I guarantee she got something for y'all out here. So we're gonna find out about her getting y'all a personal checklist out here for you guys, so you can. And I never asked her, but because Ebony is responsible.
I try to be, yes.
You're not trying to be. What you trying to be? She around here wouldn't let somebody sell. I'm gonna tell a story on her.
Oh,
she wouldn't let somebody sell somebody some insurance policy because they weren't doing it the right way. That would have made her and that agent some money.
Absolutely.
So I don't know, guys. I'll be honest. I don't mess with people that are not in tune with being honest.
That's right.
So when she says she's trying to be, When you try, that means you're not working towards it. She stopped someone from misrepresenting themselves and made sure they told the truth.
Absolutely. Integrity is extremely important.
It is.
And again, this is a situation, this is a topic where people will find out that it was done incorrectly at an awful time, at the worst possible time.
When they need it.
Late. Exactly. You don't want to find out that the I's weren't dotted and the T's weren't crossed after that breadwinner has passed away and you think you're just about to cash out a policy. Like you said, wrong health information, no policy payment. I've had people actually put the wrong birth date on their application and it was overlooked in the underwriting process and they paid that policy years. I don't even think they did it intentionally, but they put the wrong year down. And because that information was incorrect, the policy was not supposed to be paid out. Now, I will say I work for a company that I love. I work for Globe Life Insurance and they negotiated with the family. They ultimately were willing to pay the family all the payments that they had made into the policy, something that you spoke about with your family. They were not willing to pay out the full face amount because, again, now that we have a death certificate, this person was born in a totally different year than what we were told years ago when this policy was purchased. We can't fully honor this. It's a dishonest application, but we will pay you every single premium that they paid us. We will send you a check for that. I had so much respect for the company that I work for because of that, because legally they did not have to do that.
Yeah.
I
mean, I love to hear when people are integritous.
Absolutely.
So the checklist. So this is what I dropped Ebony's information in the chat.
Yes.
Next time we have Ebony on, she gonna have a way y'all can download that.
Absolutely. Very quickly, DM me on Facebook or Instagram. Not only do I have a checklist for you, things to look out for your own budget, for your own policy, for your own coverage, be it work coverage or personal coverage. I have a checklist on exactly what you should be putting in place. But I also have 5 free benefits. All you have to do is send me a direct message. You can put CEO mindset, CEO Rachel, put anything that comes to your mind when you think of the time you spend watching and listening to Rachel, you put that in the subject line and I will absolutely have 5 free benefits for you, including that free $2,500 accidental death and dismemberment policy. I'll send it to you. You'll sign it and you make sure that it's someplace where your family can find it. They will get a $2,500 check in the event that you pass away at any point by accident. And that's just a gift from me to you. I have 5 gifts total to give to you guys. So again, just DM me, put Rachel.
But you're only getting one every month, guys. Y'all got to check out. So this month you're gonna get $2,500. I'm dropping it in the chat for you guys. Accidental policy.
That's right. Accidental death and dismemberment. You lose an arm, I'll pay you. You lose a foot, we'll pay you.
I gotta get the death and dismemberment in here. I gotta remember how to spell dismemberment. I got y'all.
They know. But no, I just want to make sure we're having these conversations. You guys send me any questions, concerns. If you already have insurance and you just want me to look over your policy, some people are embarrassed to admit, but they're like, I don't really know what I have. I bought insurance 6 years ago. I don't know if it's whole life, term life. I don't know how much it's for. When I look at all of this writing on this page, I don't know what this is.
Okay, we got people. Hold on, we got people in here talking about.
All right,
I need her info. I need life insurance. Come on now. Dr. C said, put down the cake, Sharice. Don't you? Hey, I'm eating my cake. I'm eating my cake tonight. I want y'all to know it for the. We ain't gonna do it. She said, I need to speak with you, but the information is in here. Send her Wake Up CEO DM Ebony Everything Hines to get that $2,500 free accidental death dismemberment policy.
Absolutely.
Get locked in.
Lock in with me and that checklist. I'll get all of that to you. Again, you're Rachel's people, so I'm gonna look out for y'all. I know that y'all be locked in on elevating your life, getting your CEO life in perspective. Having that coverage, that peace of mind for your family is a baseline for such a thing. You got to be the CEO of your life, CEO of your family, CEO of your household. And God forbid, if you pass away tomorrow, you need to know, if nothing else, your family is covered. And then we can put everything else in place along the way.
Because what was you working all that time for? I'm just saying, we got to be honest, CEOs. We there's 2 things in life: we gonna live, we gonna die. Everything else is negotiable because taxes ain't even. I don't even put taxes in it because there's ways to get around it. But we gonna talk
about that another time.
Another show. I got y'all on that. I mean, everybody. There's things you can get around. You can't get around your life, and you can't get around your death. But at the end of the day, you can make sure that what you stood for still stands upon that day.
That's right.
Because we all gonna have that day.
That's right.
So, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and we going to come back. We're going to come back. I want y'all to stay locked in to the Leadership 3-Point Play that is powered by Say I'm Possible Academy. And don't forget to go ahead and DM Ebony. Y'all can start DMing her right now. Ebony, Everything Hines. So you better friend her, like her, message her. You better get into it so you can get that $2,500 policy. Also, if you're having questions about your current policy,
any questions,
we want to make sure at the end of the day that you're covered and you're covered right.
Yes.
That's what Ebony's about. We're about doing the right thing and waking up the CEO in you, just reminding you on what you want in your life and how to get there. All right, guys, y'all stay locked in right here on Wake Up CEO. On My Radio Chicago, support District Radio. Y'all already know it's more than radio.
Who you effing with? I feel like Mike Blackston died for the people. Ain't nothing new.
Questions were exact and to the point of what I needed, but immediately I was able to apply some extra income come immediately this past week.
Charging $150 for these classes. So I had 30 people show up each day. I charge $150 and we're like 40.
I've gotten like three more clients since I revamped again. And I'm really grateful for that.
I actually hit my goal. I think I was at 158. And so this week I'm now at 170 RSVPs for my lunch party.
I have been uploading consistently, sharing it, and also promoting and marketing on. I did build up my own team as well. The business, I also did crack in another client.
Book series for you by award-winning author Rachel L. Gary. Volume 1, Forged in Fire, Readers Rose from Life's Ashes. In Volume 2, #Poverty in Six Figures, They Broke Those Mental Chains. Now comes Volume 3, Freedom Has GPS, reminding you that you are born to soar and build a legacy. Pre-orders are open for 50% off. Get the tools for the bag at www.sayiampossible.com. Guys, thank you guys for staying with us. Man, yeah, I hope you guys got those notes. I dropped some notes down there for you. I know that we don't like to be going back to school, but life is a lesson. And if you're not taking notes, you're gonna let that lesson pass you by. You're gonna let those gems pass you by. You also gonna let that $2,500 dismissment pass you by. That's so right. Make sure you guys DM Ebony at Ebony Everything Hines. Make sure you guys DM her and put Wake Up CEO. Drop that into her so she can give you guys that information. Y'all got to stay locked in. So now we about to hit my favorite part of the whole show. Y'all know this is my favorite part. And that is the leadership. 3-point play that is powered by Say I'm Possible Academy, where self-leadership gets GPS. Play 1. Protect the first hour of your day. Your morning is not community property. Play 2. Keep it simple. Stay small. Repeat daily. Build your proof. Play 3. Connect it to a meaning. Your why will hold your habits. That is the leadership 3-point play that was brought to you by Say I'm Possible Academy, where self-leadership gets what? GPS. Guys, man. Y'all know that's my favorite part because I love to drop those 3-point plays because those are plays that'll keep you moving forward successfully. And we was talking about the morning routine, how to keep a morning routine past Wednesday. And then we talked about how to get gems, how to actually ask quick questions about your life insurance policies to make sure that you're getting all the necessary information from your agent. So you want to make sure that you're listening. Not over talking them. Listen. Because sometimes we get lost in things that we're thinking in our minds as opposed to us listening to what someone's saying to us.
Absolutely.
And listening to what people say to you will help you grow.
Absolutely.
So there's one little last part we want to make sure Ebony just dives into about this life insurance. When do you think the ideal age is to get life insurance?
Great question. In all honesty, the ideal age is at birth. You can buy a policy at the age of 1 month old. Parents, buy policies for your babies. Do you understand what I'm saying? Buy whole life coverage for your babies by a year old, because again, whole life prices are locked in at the date of purchase. So you buy your 1 year old $100,000 in whole life coverage that might cost you $9 or $10 a month. That is the price of their policy for the rest of their life. And that is not necessarily about preparing, God forbid, for the death of your child. That is putting your child in a position for financial leadership in their own life. By the time that child turns 18, 19, again, and we'll talk about these details at another episode, but you have cash out value on whole life insurance. And, you know, Rachel and I talk about these kind of details all the time. You imagine at 18, 19, we've all been there. College comes around. Maybe they can't fully afford to cover college. Maybe mom and dad don't fully have the amount to cover that first year of tuition. Or maybe you really want to buy them a car that first year of college and the funds just are not there. There's so many things happening for our kids at that age. You've paid into this policy for 18 years. You can cash out probably nearly 50% of it at no cost. You cash it out, and mind you, whole life and term life coverage, all life insurance is tax-free. Just keep that in mind. Okay, those are tax-free dollars.
One more time, didn't I say that taxes, you know, people usually use the word life, death, and taxes. Didn't I just tell you it's a way to get away from taxes?
Absolutely.
Just dropped it. She just dropped it.
Absolutely. So you imagine you buy $100,000 coverage for your 1 year old. $100,000, you're paying about $9 a month for that $100,000. Hold on, we go. Go ahead, do that.
Back to the math for you guys. We're going to drop it down. Y'all can do the math with me. It's okay. I don't mind. We talking about $9 a month.
$9 a month for 12 months.
For 12 months.
And let's say we pay into it for the first 18 years of their life.
Guys, I want y'all to see this total. We're gonna put the numbers out there.
$9 a month.
At 12 months.
12 months to cover every year.
Times 18 years.
18 years.
Equals. Oh, we're going to use the equal sign. We ain't going to spell out equals. Equals. A whopping. Woo, y'all, wait till y'all see this number.
Tell them the number.
$1,944.
You haven't even paid $2,000 into that policy. Okay. Now, at that point, you and your child together can decide, do we want to cash out a portion of this policy so that you can cover college, so you can buy a car? Maybe at this point, we see how life is going. Maybe they're an entrepreneur with $1 billion idea that you really believe in enough to go ahead and invest in. Cash out 50% of that policy. Get that $50,000 check from your insurance company. You've been paying into it for 18 years. There's plenty of equity. You've paid into it. Cash that out. Get a $50,000 check that you've paid less than $2,000 for. your child still has $50,000 in whole life coverage that down the line, maybe at age 29, they're ready to buy their first house. And they say, you know what, I've got a great job. I'm going to cash out the rest of my policy, my whole life policy. I want that other $50,000 check. And I'm young enough to buy myself a new policy to put in place for my final expenses. This is how we really build legacy. It can't just be about the check. It's about the knowledge. So yes, back to your original question, the best age to buy coverage would be at birth. And to tie to that, please educate your kids on what to do with large lump sums of money so that once you're putting them in that position, they actually can execute and grow that money and continue to build this legacy.
I want y'all to hear all of that. I hope
it's a lot, y'all.
If you guys, I'm gonna make sure that y'all rewind that back. We just had a whole conversation about how $1,944 just got your kid $100,000.
$100,000.
$1,900. One more time, $1,944.
Mm-hmm.
We always having the conversations about how do the wealthy get wealthy.
Oh my Lord, yes.
I want to say this, and I'm a believer in what I'm about to say, and I don't care who refutes it. If you refute it, great. People say that the 1% get wealthy because they're stifling everyone else. I want to be honest. That information she just dropped, there's so many people that know it, but don't do nothing about it.
Yep.
Gerber Life.
Yep.
Now, I want to say this, and I got to say it, guys, I'm just that person. The same son that I told y'all was uninsurable right now has a $100,000 policy because I got him a Gerber Life policy when he was born.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in the hospital, they used to, I don't know if they do it still, they used to give you that little card.
Yep.
In the hospital. Both my children, when they were born, had that little card.
Mm-hmm.
I paid the $1 down, and their policies were $4 a month.
$4 a month.
Right now, both my children are insured for the rest of their life, at least for $100,000.
$4 a month.
$4 a month is what he has to pay.
And that's less than I was doing a guesstimate on the $9 a month.
But this was 28 years. This was like 28 years ago.
But again, that just puts it in perspective. You are a firsthand person who's telling the viewers and listeners right now, this is absolutely true. You can possibly get that same coverage for even slightly less than $9 a month. And like you said, your son has coverage, even though down the line.
And guys, you know what? I'm gonna even do something for you guys real quick. I'm this real time. I'm one of these people who I impromptu in a moment anyway. We got time. We're gonna look it up real quick. Gerber Life. Mm-hmm. And I don't work for Gerber Life. You don't work for Gerber Life either. I'm not here saying that Gerber Life is the best insurance there is. What I do know is they have a policy that is very, very inexpensive.
Absolutely.
And it does what it does.
Yes, it caters to the children. Again, I work for Globe Life. Our policies that are
do you guys have kids?
Yes, we have our policies that are equivalent to the Gerber policies are called Head Start policies.
Okay,
they are child policies. You can purchase those from birth. And oftentimes, I get calls from my clients who have had policies with me forever. If a new baby is born, they'll call me 2-3 weeks in, like, oh, got a new baby, we got to buy some coverage. And they're buying that policy, that $7, $8, $9 a month, and that child is locked in for coverage. You know, again, God forbid things happen. We don't ever want to imagine something happening to our children, but things happen. And to just have that coverage in place for if something were to happen, but more importantly, have it locked in for once they grow into adults, it's already in place. They don't have to have these conversations. They don't have to go searching and shopping for life insurance. It's been done.
I'm going to look for it. Hold on. So Globe Life, how much of the policy does it start off with with a newborn?
Newborn, again, typically about $6 or $7.
So all y'all got to do one more time is DM Ebony.
That's right.
Everything Hines. One more time. We're going to put that up on the screen so you guys can find out more information. This is the amount of money that you would pay at a $9 policy. She just told you it starts at $7.
Yep.
For $9 at 12 months for 18 years. You pay $1,944 into that policy.
That's right.
Whole life. Remember, we just talked about the difference between term and whole. So you want to make sure you ask the right questions.
That's right.
But you got the agent of the decade right here trying to give you guys information. But $9 at 12 months times 18 years. And when your child gets in college, they have ability to take out money for college.
Absolutely. For whatever.
It can't be for whatever.
For whatever, yes.
But we talking about building legacy here, CEOs. Right. We're not just talking about death.
No.
We're talking about building a legacy because life as I started in the beginning, was life helps life to help life.
That's right.
So if we make the right moves now, we make better moves for them.
That's
but
right.
along with us doing this, I want to make sure we get to this point that we teach them some knowledge.
That's right.
Which means we have to gain some knowledge.
That's right.
So we have to spend the time to understand these things so we can pass that information on to them.
That's right.
We want to know how we go broke after getting. There are so many people who they pass away and they get life insurance and they are broke within a year.
Absolutely, my Lord. That's so common. You know, it's similar to winning the lottery. It's a large lump sum of money that oftentimes people have never been prepared for, never been educated on what to do. I have conversations with people all the time, and we've talked about this, where a client will say, well, I want $1 million policy. And I'll ask them, no disrespect, but why? Your family has never seen $1 million in one place in their entire life. Not you, not your children, not your wife. What reason do you believe your family all of a sudden needs $1 million upon your passing? And those people typically don't have an answer. And those people who think that way are typically the ones who have not taught their children what to do with $1 million if it lands in their lap. And like you said, those people will be broke within a year. Mm-hmm. I've seen it. I've delivered checks to some of those individuals. And again, you see the new cars, you see them buying and doing all this extravagant, superficial stuff versus investing, buying policies for the next generation of young people so that everyone is covered, and kind of leading the family into that same cycle. I don't know if you guys remember once upon a time. I know I remember back in the day when elders used to buy a policy every time a baby was born. The elders would buy policies on everybody, and you always knew that the elders had policies. They spoke to us about it. I don't know where along the lines people stopped talking to their kids about financial literacy or telling them it's not their business. My dad kept me in tune at a very young age on when he paid the bills. He allowed me to participate. You know, that
I got an answer for you though. Yeah, people, we're not gonna like the answer. When we stop being able to pay the bills.
Ooh.
I'm not being funny.
But no, you're right. You're stepping on some toes.
When we stopped being able to pay the bills, we were ashamed. We became ashamed because think about this. A family will struggle at their table, but they knew how to make their ends meet.
Exactly. But they would send the kids to bed. They don't want the kids to see the struggle. You absolutely right. You absolutely right.
The reason why our grandparents, they in their minds, they weren't struggling because they had already struggled.
That's right. They were on a step up.
They felt that they were above where they were 10 years ago. Yep. So they wanted to educate.
Yes.
But when their kids came into a society where they were paid less, mm-hmm. they couldn't afford more.
Yeah.
So you start talking to your kids. Like right now, we superficially talk to our kids about money. We don't talk to our kids about struggling. Like I was having a conversation about bankruptcy. So it was like, man, why would you file bankruptcy? Because it protects my house, protects everything, and I can still buy other things.
Exactly.
They were like, wait. Because we were talking about Donald Trump when Adele was here.
Okay.
The gentleman who was running for Congress.
Oh, yes.
And I said, people talk trash about Trump. Now, one more time, I am not a Trump supporter.
Right.
I'm not a nobody supporter, to be honest with you. But bankruptcy has freedoms with it. And if you're somebody who has money and you're trying to protect one thing so you can buy something else, mm-hmm. it being on your credit doesn't matter, because what they do is after 2 years, it drops off your credit, mm-hmm. where creditors even won't lend to you. Mm-hmm. So if you're someone who's playing the long game and not the short game, it don't even make a difference.
And people don't even realize there are multiple types of bankruptcy.
13 to 7.
There we go. You know, in the financial industry, I'll slip up and we refer to bankruptcy as BK. So you'll hear people talk about BK 13 or, BK chapter, whichever chapter you may file. There are tons of benefits. Like you mentioned, Donald Trump, people in that vein, we don't have to use Donald Trump, but in that type of category, they know how to work the system. Those types of people know how to use bankruptcy, and they know how to use life insurance together. Combined with that, you add real estate, those types of people will never be less than wealthy.
Now, I'm about to hit y'all with something real quick. Rockefeller did not become wealthy off of oil.
I believe that.
His family is wealthy off of insurance.
I believe that.
Because let me tell you when she just mentioned about how the elders bought insurance policies, they learned that because that's how they bought policies. So Rockefeller, every time a kid is born, they buy $1 million policy that goes into a trust. Upon the death of that person, that money never leaves the trust.
So it never leaves the family.
It never leaves the family. Those people are paid from a trust, not from the oil. The newer generations of the Rockefellers, y'all research. Remember, I'm just a person who does a lot of reading. Research for yourselves. They just now got to a place where they were able to sell like Emicos because he had it so tight that they couldn't.
I believe it.
The generation is finally at the generation that figured out how to get past all his fail safes.
But he had fail safes in place to protect the money.
And right now they're going to squander it all because he had foresight. That goes when you're clear.
Yeah.
He had his clear plan was to build a legacy for life. I am a fan of Rockefeller, and I know my kids will give me the hardest time. You are good capitalism. We're all part of capitalism. I want us all to hear it.
I was gonna say I'm all about the rich auntie vibe, and I had to meet somebody who can genuinely explain to me why capitalism is bad or wrong. We can have conversations about your opinions and moralities of certain things, but everything is not executed the exact same way by the exact same people. You can't thoroughly tell me that it's wrong.
There are good characters and bad characters in everything in life.
Everything.
So capitalism is about building wealth, building money, and finding systems to build money. That's what capitalism is based upon. The evils that you hear about, well, you're making people work long hours. Ain't nobody making nobody do nothing. I want y'all really just to hear this honestly. Get mad. Tell me you can be mad. Who forced you to go to your 9 to 5?
Not your landlord, not nobody.
You have bills, yes. You have things you must pay, but no one forces you to take that job.
Nope.
You make the decision. No one forces you to, because when you go to that job, we got a couple of minutes. When you go to that job, I guarantee you sign knowing how much money you're gonna get paid. They paying me less. They paying me so little. Did you sign a paper that said you will take the $15 an hour?
That's right.
Were you hoping somewhere in the back of your mind that was going to change from that $15 an hour that you signed for?
That's right.
We sign hundreds of documents, not listening and not looking. Along with the companies that you sign for, you sign off the rights for your creativity at these companies. People don't know that. You don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. Because if you create something within a company that you work for, it belongs to the company, not you.
Absolutely.
But these are just things that we're talking about you getting clear. That's why we had the conversation about real estate. And we had a conversation about insurance. And we had a conversation about your morning routines. Because all of this plays into you building the best version of you.
Yes.
So CEOs, we got to get to the end here. Man, I got to wait 4 more weeks to hear this awesomeness, man. Guys, y'all get locked in every first Wednesday right here on Wake Up CEO with the talented, extremely integritous Ebony Hines. Y'all get locked in right here. We got clapping up for Ebony joining us today. So I want y'all to also stay locked in for next Wednesday, because next Wednesday we're going to have J Baby. She's going to be talking about boss mindset.
Yes.
Guys, y'all better get ready, because all we doing on Wake Up CEO for 2026 and beyond is winning no matter what. And I want y'all to stay locked in till up next. We got Frequency with Lexi Couture. And until next week, CEOs, while you are ready, willing, and able, get the life insurance policy that is necessary for you to build the legacy of your dreams. If you are dreaming of growth, your kids can benefit from those thoughts. Start today.
Yes.
Go ahead one more time. Let's put that up there. We can go to Ebony Everything Hines on Facebook. Go ahead and get locked in. You can get that free $2,500 accidental death and dismemberment policy, and also some free checklists that you can utilize so you can make sure you are getting quality information from an agent that you're looking for. Yes. And until next week, CEOs, right here on Wake Up CEO, where I have the pleasure to talk to some awesome CEOs. I want y'all to stay focused on being the best version of you and be up, out, and moving to the greatness we all know lies within who? You. See you next week.